एक टाइम था जब शुरुआत की थी हमने, तो हमने एक छोटा सा रूल बनाया था आप सबके साथ। आप बहुत सारे बहुत जवान हैं, लेकिन जो पुराने टाइम के होंगे उनको याद होगा कि एवरीबडी हैड टू पे 500 रुपीज़ चैरिटेबल वर्क के लिए इस हॉस्पिटल के अंदर। तब मैं इंटरव्यू करता था। अब तो मैं नहीं भी करना चाहता हूँ तो आप लोग कर लेते हो तो पैसे की बात ही नहीं रही। बट आई हैव बीन एसोसिएटेड विद द हॉस्पिटल नानावती फॉर ईयर्स। द एसोसिएशन स्टार्टेड एज अ पेशेंट. Dr. Ali has looked after me in my various injuries. He's looked after my sister, my wife, and very few people know this, that when my third son was born, Abram, so he was very unwell, as some of you may know at that time, and he was rushed to the pediatric center here and looked after even before we could meet him. So it's a strange cycle कि जो मेरी माँ के नाम से जो वार्ड है, which they all need with graciousness and gratefulness. I'm really grateful. उन्होंने अपनी मर्जी से खुशी के लिए मेरी माँ के नाम से वार्ड को रखा, and my child was genuinely saved in this hospital. So I'm very thankful to you. And then today again with this new bone marrow transplant section that has been installed, I was made to understand by the very good doctors here that there are 10,000 cases which happen in India every year, out of which maybe 1,000 to 2,000 a year must be here in Mumbai itself. And this will turn out to be one of the biggest bone marrow transplant centers in the world, if at least amongst the top 5. Because of not only the fact that it's so advanced now, also I think what's important not only for India but for medical care, I think सबसे ज़्यादा important बात ये है कि वो जो है मुनासिब दामों में मिल सके. So I think that kind of stuff happening here, and wherever it happens, for me it is just a moment of happiness that I can be part of it. So there's no need to thank me. I'm here only because you save our lives. So thank you very much. I see, in this simple capacity, I can come here and think of myself as someone who's been honored and brought here. But these small gestures through yourself, me, all of us coming here, somebody will read about it, somebody will talk about it. And of course, there are awareness campaigns. I see lots of movie stars talking about organ donation. I think that's wonderful. So in whatever little way, I think public figures get a moment to talk about this or visit places. It's not just for कि ना हम यहाँ पर आ गए और ribbon काट दिया. I think इसकी वजह से 2-4 लोग को और मालूम पड़ता है. Like I got to know so much. My parents have actually succumbed to cancer, so I should have known a little more. But I just got to understand from Dr. Saab, the senior Dr. Saab here, that how many patients are there in the country. Added every year 10,000. Thalassemia. Children are, and many more cancerous patients. So I think all these things, and especially in our country with such a humongous population, I think these things are not only how many centers we make may still fall short for some years. So I think as much as we can encourage it through talking about it, telling people about it, and making it affordable, I think that's the most important part. To be honest, cinema is a very small part of all of this here. So in whichever way, I mean, whenever, I'm not going to say and talk about morbid stuff that, we'll start dealing with a patient in a movie who's got a disease like that. I mean, Allah kare kisi ko bhi disease now. And one never has to choose a protagonist like that. But I think whenever there are moments like this, I think the first thing that Indian cinema has been doing for years, in whichever method, is doctors को एकदम भगवान के बाद माना जाता है, दर्जा दिया जाता है. They're always the last hope and resort. And I think that itself is part of cinema which has been propagating that. And other aspects, I'm sure now, even with the younger filmmakers, when they're coming in, the research is a lot more. Those days are gone जब वो मैंने एक फिल्म थी उसमें ब्लड जो है एक दूसरे को हाथ से डायरेक्टली लगाकर. So I think just being able to show it properly, I think that itself is educated enough. And then of course there are people who would try and put it in films too. I've been coming to, like I said, Nanavati for 25 years here with my own injuries. My sister was here, admitted, as a matter of fact, just in the room behind. And to see it so beautifully renovated, and then especially the new technology that is being used, where they talk about this whole air suction thing to make sure it's hygienic and sterile. I think those things are great innovations. I've seen this hospital for 25 years, so to see it now like this and develop to such an extent, I think it's a great thing you all are doing, because at the end of it all, you don't come with any happy feeling to a hospital. So if the hospital can make you feel nice and comfortable for whatever little stay, inshallah nobody has a long stay. But I've had very long stays in my family. Like I was saying, when the pediatric ward was being made, so Ali had asked me, how should it be? I said, it should be like a playground. You know, please make it like a playground. So when you go there, the little children are there and you don't feel. So I think the atmosphere, the hygiene, the sterility and everything that is being managed here is, I think, world class, mashallah. The strange thing is I've never really got injured doing something dangerous. I'm a romantic hero. While loving only, I'm getting injured. I'm making love and I'm getting injured. It's you know, whatever big injury. Now I have a bad knee. It was just during a dance, not even some big. The big stunts I've done, I've got actually. God's been kind.
Jump, first floor jump.
Some jumps and all.
He has paid the stuntman and he has done it on his own.
No, we don't have any. We don't talk work here. We haven't spoken work for years. So I think he's just been in town. I've been in town, and I mean, the last 2-3 months, I think he's come home sometimes. But no, we have not talked work at all here. There's nothing work-wise that we have discussed. हर किसी की फिल्म जो होती है उसकी किस्मत की होती है, and I don't think I would have done it as well as Sanjay Dutt at all. I think he was fantastic in the film. We actually always met as often. You just have more media now who gets to know that you're meeting. हम पहले भी इतना ही मिलते थे. तब लेकिन चले जाते थे. अब तो actually it's quite shocking that you know everyone is everywhere. So that's why I think.